I am the playwright and actress in this one-woman play about Joan Chittister. Joan Chittister is a prophet and poet in our time. She is a voice for women in the church. What I love about Joan Chittister is that she charges us to ask questions. How can a church which denies women equal authority with men call convincingly to the world in the name of justice to practice a justice it does not practice itself? I had been saying for years prior to this idea that I wished Joan's words were on my lips, that I had this desire to speak as eloquently as she was able to speak. And the idea that I could write a play and memorize her words and say those words was really exciting for me. I immediately had a feeling that it was really important. It was an important story to tell. I do not believe in abortion, but I do not believe that just because you're opposed to abortion, that makes you pro-life. In fact, in many cases, I think your morality is deeply lacking if all you want is a child born, and not a child fed, not a child housed, not a child educated. And why do I think you don't? Because you don't want your tax money to go there. That's not pro-life, that's pro-birth. We need to have a much broader conversation about what the morality of pro-life is. I wish I had said that. At the time, I didn't imagine that I would ever explain to the audience what our connection was. There were things that were quintessential Joan that I knew I needed to include, but part of what I was seeing was that when I was writing those things down or imagining doing those, there were corresponding scenes and parts of my life that just seemed to go with that. These parallels between Joan and myself are bigger than just between the two of us. That so many threads of this story are about other women, and all women, really. This was not a woman's issue. This was a justice issue rooted in a woman's question. This was a matter of who do you think you are, that you can tell me what to think, tell me to whom I may speak, tell me where I can and cannot go. Who do you think you are, Daddy? I performed the play for schools and churches. I'd like to start doing the play in conferences, special events. A social worker in the audience said, you should be doing this for social workers. Women religious think I should be doing it for women religious. Teachers think I should be doing it for teachers. I think that's the universal quality of it. I was terrified that my mother would be killed by my stepfather. My mother was abused by her stepmother, Mary. My great aunt knew about the abuse because she lived downstairs from my mother. And when I was older, she told me, we could hear your mother screaming and crying upstairs, but what could we do? I hope that people don't think that this play is just for Catholics, because the play is so much broader than that. These are universal themes, and there's this authenticity about the themes in this play that people are really longing to hear right now. How many deaths will it take till they know that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. One of the best compliments that I received around the play was someone bringing a friend who was Jewish, didn't know who Joan Chittister was, and didn't even like going to plays. And this person told me that afterwards, this is all the person could talk about. For me to find my voice while I'm using Joan's voice has been a really humbling experience and a really beautiful one. Every single institution is in flux. Marriage, churches, economic system, cities, government. And at the bottom of it is a new science, a new globalism, and a new notion of what it is to be a human being, a nation, a body. You've got to raise the questions. The attempt right now is to silence the questions. The way you empower is to refuse to be silent.
There's not a morning I begin without 1,000 questions running through my mind, that I don't try to find the reason and the logic in the world that God designed, the reason why a bird was given